Hi, thanks for joining me today. This yoga video is going to focus on poses that can help to strengthen our bones. We're going to do that by mainly focusing on standing poses. We're going to start a little bit and do a few things down on the ground, but mainly standing poses. And you want to really think of hugging the muscles to the bones as we're working through this sequence, and also really keeping the core muscles engaged. So we're keeping our nice alignment and support of our spine and our skeletal structure as we go through these poses. So you don't need anything special today. If you have some yoga blocks, you may want to have that for our little flow that we are going to do to get down to the ground, but you don't necessarily need to have any props today. But we're going to start on all fours in table pose. So as you come to all fours, set yourself up. So again, as we're focusing on this bone strength, we want to think of the alignment, making sure we have the wrist right underneath the shoulders. So we're pressing down evenly through our skeletal structure, towards the ground. The knees are right underneath the hips. We're engaging those abdominal muscles, drawing that lower belly in to find that nice core connection, lengthening through the crown of the head. So we have neutral here for the spine. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And then as you take this next inhale, let the pelvis tip forward, lift the heart and the sternum, take the gaze forward and up into cow pose. And then as you exhale, think of curling the tailbone under, draw the lower belly in and up, let the head release down between the arms as you arch your back up to a cat pose. So we'll do this just as a warm-up, a couple more times. Inhale, let the pelvis tip forward. Feel that nice length and stretch through the body, and we're pressing into the hands, we're pressing into the feet, keeping that engagement. Exhale, rounding the spine, finding those core muscles. So one more time, inhaling. So as we're taking this inhale, we're contracting those muscles in the back of the body, which are part of our core too, back muscles. Exhale again, rounding the spine, contracting the muscles now front of the body, and then inhale, come back to neutral. Making sure again that your wrists are right underneath your shoulders. Slide the right leg back, the left leg back, come to a plank pose. So this is one of our really good core strengthening poses and bone strengthening poses here. You can always take a modification by bringing your knees down to the mat. Just keep your core muscles engaged. So couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Again, really think of pressing through the heels. You're hugging the muscles to the bones. You're thinking of lifting those kneecaps, toning the quadricep muscles, drawing that lower belly in, lengthening through the crown of the head. Inhale and exhale. And then as you take your next exhale, draw your lower belly in and up, sit bones up and back, come to downward facing dog. So make sure you're pressing evenly into the fingertips and the base of the knuckles. Make sure you have weight in the thumb and the index finger, arms nice and straight. Again, draw that lower belly in. You can always bend your knees here if you'd like. Or for a little bit more warm up, you can slowly pedal through the feet. Just make sure you're breathing. And then as we come to a standing forward bend, we're going to pedal the feet and take small steps forward towards the front of the mat. So bend your knees as much as you need to, walking up to a standing forward bend. Again, let the knees bend here. You can take hold of opposite elbows. Take a big breath in and out here. And then bring the hands to the hinge of the hip, press into the feet, lengthen through the spine, and come all the way up to stand. Once you come up to stand, find your mountain pose. So feet hip distance apart. Really think of grounding down through the feet. Inhale and exhale. Again, think of hugging all the muscles of the legs to the bones. We're hugging those quadricep muscles, lifting those kneecaps up, drawing that lower belly in, lifting the sternum, energy through the crown of the head. Feel the weight down through the heels. And then as you inhale, float the arms all the way up, reach up through the fingertips. As you exhale, float the arms back down. So this time, as you float the arms up, inhale, float the arms up, lift up onto your toes, and then as you exhale, float the arms down, let your feet thump back down to the mat. So the arms will go slower than the feet. So inhale again, arms float up, lifting up onto the toes, and then exhale, let the heels thump and release the hands back down. So we're bringing weight into those heels. One more time, inhale, float the arms up, reach up through the fingertips, lift up the heels, and then exhale, thump the heels down, float the arms back down. So this time, inhale, float the arms all the way up, hinge at your hips, send your hips back, your sternum and your torso forward, come to a chair pose. Again, think of hugging all the muscles to the bones. Now press into the feet, come up to that extended mountain, lifting up onto the toes. Once again, lift the heels, exhale, thump the heels down, float the arms down. Sweep the arms forward, come to your chair pose again. You can always just keep the arms at shoulder height if that feels better for your shoulders. Press into the feet, inhale all the way up, lift the heels up. Exhale, thump the heels down, release the hands back down by your side. Good, so come to the center of your mat, step your feet nice and wide to the side with the toes pointing towards the long edge of the mat to start with. Hands to the hips, widen across the collarbones. Think again, all the muscles of the legs hugging the bones. Draw that lower belly in. Find your breath, and then reach out through the fingertips. Take a star pose here. Again, really think how much energy can you reach out through the fingertips? Can you press down through the feet, hugging all of the muscles to the bones? Inhale and exhale. Now bring your arms to shoulder height. Turn your right foot towards the end of your mat. Turn your back foot in a little bit. Let your left hip track just a little bit forward. Bend your front knee, aiming your front knee towards your second and third baby toe. So make sure your knee stays right over your ankle. Extend out the fingertips for warrior two. Press into the feet. Inhale and exhale. Imagine that you're trying to tear your yoga mat in half. You're pressing that right foot forward, that left foot back. Inhale and exhale. Now press into the feet, inhale, float the arms all the way up, let the palms touch. Turn the right toes back in. Now turn the left toes out, turn the right toes in slightly now, and then open up to that warrior two, second side. So make sure, again, take a glance down at your knee. Make sure your knee is right over top of your heel. Press into both feet. Reach out through the fingertips. And again, imagine you're trying to tear your yoga mat in half. So you're thinking of isometrically sending the left foot forward, that right foot back. Breathing, inhale and exhale. And then once again, straighten the front leg, bring the arms overhead, palms touch. Bring the toes again back to center, bring the hands to the heart. And then option here, you can do a little heel toe, the feet together, or bend the knees a little bit and give them a little jump together. Inhale and exhale. Again, little pressure on those bones in the feet is good on the heels. So let's come back to the front of the mat here. We're going to one little more standing sequence. So find your mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, come into that chair pose. Bend the knees out over the toes, sit bones back. Bring your hands to your hips, step your right leg back, high lunge. So a little balance test here. Inhale and exhale. Now step that right foot a little forward, toes to the mat. So we're straightening the front leg. We have the right toes to the mat, arms overhead. And then finding this hinge of your hip, you're going to slowly begin to hinge a little forward as you lift that back leg. Flex the back foot. So you can come kind of halfway, little airplane pose here. You can come a little bit further forward, maybe working towards a warrior three pose with that back leg extended. Again, find your balance. Inhale and exhale. You can also have your hands at your hips if that feels more stable. As you're ready, land that right leg back down and then float the arms back down by your side. Pause for a breath. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips, step your left leg back. Find your high lunge here. Arms can be overhead, or again, hands can be at the hips. Inhale and exhale. Now step a little forward with the back leg, straighten the front leg. Find your balance here. And you may stay just like this, that's fine. Or maybe think a little hinge at the hip. Flex your back foot, so that lifted leg, we want all the energy in that lifted leg. And we bring the upper body down as much as we're lifting the back leg. Find your breath. Find your balance here. Inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, land back in your mountain pose, extended mountain, arms overhead, bring the palms together, bring the hands to the heart. Pausing here for a breath. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do a little flow to get down to the ground here. So inhale, float the arms up. Palms touch, exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, come halfway up, nice lengthen your spine. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Let's step back to that plank pose once again. Right leg steps back, left leg steps back. Press through the heels, find that nice strength. Inhale and exhale. Now roll a little forward across your toes, bring your knees down to the mat. Crisscross the ankles, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to your belly. Straighten the legs, forehead to the mat, hands beside the chest. Hug the elbows in towards your ribs. Strengthening the upper back now. Press into the feet or the muscles in the back of the body. Inhale, lifting up, low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. Press into the feet. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Good, 1 more time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Now press into your hands, come up to table pose, and then bring your big toes together, knees towards the outside edges of the mat, hands towards the outside edges, send your hips back towards your heels, come to a wide knee child pose. Take a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Just notice how you feel, connect with your breath. Full deep inhales, long exhales. And then as you're ready, press into the hands, come up to table pose, and then to a comfortable seat. As you can tell, it's fall here in southern Maryland, and we're getting rained on by the leaves. I probably have them in my hair. So thank you so much for joining me today. So that sequence is one that you can easily repeat several times for a little longer session, but thinking as you move through the practice, as you move through those poses, really think of how can you help your bones. So hugging those muscles into the bones, finding that strength, finding that core connection, and of course finding your breath and having that steady flow and rhythm. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and please check out Grey Horse Yoga in the info section below, and I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Have a great day. Bye-bye.